In Sri Lanka there was a pastor called Jerome who brought out in his one session he just told Buddha went after Jesus. Specifically in his words, he was saying so Jesus is the light and Buddha was looking for the light. He meant enlightenment is the light. So he says enlightenment is light and Jesus was light. So he was eventually looking for Jesus or something. He was talking in his one session, and he blamed other religions as well, like Muslims, Hindus, and he mocked out the karma concept in Buddhism, everything comes around, and he was making a joke out of it, if something did for a profit, it will come back around or something. He was making just jokes about Buddhism, and now he fled out of the country because of people are blaming, insulting, and say to bring him to justice and make him go to prison. So Jerome Fernando, he's a prophet, says he's a prophet, and he's in his session he just as I told you, he's talk about these things. He just blamed other religions, Hindu, Allah, and eventually Buddha. People say there's an agenda behind him. He's going to be he need to be popular, so he just attacked Buddhism in order to do that, or there's a government something behind it, getting singular Buddhist votes. If someone blame the Buddhism, some leader can come and stand for that and say, I'm gonna save Buddhism, and he'll eventually become the leader. So some agenda or some shit, and so the thing is Jerome. So we had to talk with Jerome. So Jerome, is it right? So I'm gonna take a Buddhist example, Buddha in his Diganikaya Aganya Sutta. He speaks of the class issue. Buddha was born in 2600 years ago, and he was a Hindu, so he had this collision between the religions. He had to speak about Hinduism and its what's right, what's wrong, his perspective. So he brought these topics. He attacked Hinduism, but the way he did, Jerome should learn, or any other should learn from that. So Buddha, he attacked the caste systems. Look, there are 4 classes in Hinduism: Brahmins, Vaishya, Shudra. The Shudra are the lowest level. Brahmins are the highest. Think rich people and the poor people, and classes. And Hindu, this in those religion, they say Brahmins are born in Maha Brahma's mouth, and the poor people are born, the lowest level class people are born in Brahma's feet or something. There's this class thing highly in that society 2006 600 years ago. And Buddha didn't accept that. Even though he's a Shakya, he's born in a high status, high class, he didn't accept that. What he said was, the class depends on your actions. Like, imagine, like, if you are a poor man and if you do good things, like help people, like, if your heart gets melt, if something bad happened to another person, that person is a high class person according to Buddha. And if someone, even though you are in a rich family, born rich, even though you have like power or anything like wealth or class, if you do bad things like hurt people, do injustice, like treat people not fairly, that person is the lowest class level. That's how he mentioned the class systems, and he attacked Hinduism. And the way he attacked is bring his view to that. He didn't say like, this is wrong, like Hinduism is wrong, Buddhism is right, just follow me, I'm the Lord Buddha. He didn't say that. In Buddhism, he specifically mentions that if anyone could come, enna dharma dakin, like he says, like, come and see the dharma, see this, practically use this. If you have benefits, be a Buddhist. Or not, like he didn't say be a Buddhist, just live your life according to this. If this is wrong, you can go anywhere. He didn't like say like, come, I'm the right person. No, he took those examples and he exploited them. Like he attacked in a way that any brainless man could understand. That's absolutely right. Like high class doesn't depend on the way you born. It depends on your actions. Like a good person, whether you got wealth or money or anything else, he's a good person. Should all treat him like a high class person, And even though you are a politician or a wealthy man, or if you do several bad stuff, hurt people, do bad things, if you treat your children like, or anything, like, if you that's a bad person, and he shouldn't get the respect as a high class person. So that's how Buddha exploited like that problem. He's so flexible, anyone could. So what Jerome, the prophet, did was he just said Jesus is the guy. Buddha was going after Jesus. He didn't say anything factual. Like if you have faith, you could believe that. But what if you don't have faith? Like that's just purely faith. You know what I'm saying? It's purely faith. But Buddha didn't do that. So and he that's why Jerome, the guy who can't be in my country right now, because people are opposed. Why people oppose? Why people disbelieve? Why people are angry? Just out of nowhere, he just say Buddha went after Jesus. If you say something like that, it's normal, man. It happens. It's because you should, if you are talking about such personality, such a religious perspective, you should bring facts, bring some factual data to back your talk. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say like a comedian, like, you know, Buddha just went after Jesus, blah blah blah, blah. It's like Jesus, it's like comedy. It's not good talk. What I'm saying every day is to like just talk things and have facts, not just say whatever you feel like, you know. So that's how Buddha took that problem and attacked several Hindu concepts. This is just one. There are so many concepts. He brought so many examples and just explains how like anyone could understand. And it's so we don't get angry. Like, so if the prophet like Jerome said Jesus is some this and like a real fact, like he created the universe or something, and Buddhism who created your universe. So then this argument comes to conclusion that Jesus is the right God or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You should bring facts. You shouldn't say Jesus went after Buddhism. No, Buddha went after Jesus. That's bullshit. That's like crazy baby talk. So that's an argument. I could talk about that later. Buddha did have a universe, and any Buddhist people can argue who created God. That's a talk for another day. So that's how I view Prophet Jerome's problem. He should talk about things and say factual stuff. Like, he should always say things like, if you are a prophet, if you know Jesus, just bring the facts that back your talk. Not just have like not just say things like that, you know. It always gets criticized. That's normal. So especially in a Buddhist country, majority is Buddhism, so that's normal. That's anyone should understand that.